So Hilly, how do you feel going into the new season? How are you placed personally? How are you feeling?
Feeling a lot more comfortable now. I've had a year under my belt being at the club. Yeah, definitely feeling better getting to know the boys and playing alongside them for a year and having that experience definitely helps me bring out coming into this year. And I know all the boys are pretty excited getting back into footy. I know LeCras pretty keen to get back out there. So yeah, he's been training pretty hard and pretty keen to get out. So.
Do you think arguably you could have the best forward line set up in the AFL with Kennedy? You got Lickett back, you've got Darling, there's yourself. The Ruckman will push down there, Coxie at some stage, maybe Nick Nat.
Yep.
It's formidable, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's good to have that amount of players down there with the talents they have, and we all have our own things we bring to the team, and especially having JK down there, he's always a big, tall forward, and he's strong. Brings a strong contest, and he's definitely good with his defensive side as well, and definitely Jack with his back rolls, and he does his cartwheels sometimes. Yeah, he's a great player. He's only young too, so he's got a lot of developing, and yeah, he's a big future ahead of him. And yeah, as you said, Coxie and Nick Nat coming down definitely brings that bit of spark down there and a bit of a contest for us smaller players. So yeah, it's good.
Do you reckon Jack Darling's set to go to the next level? Do you think he could be a bona fide, A grade player?
Yeah, I definitely think he could. I know he's still, as I said, he's only young, so he's got a lot of footy ahead of him, and a lot of experience, a lot of players around him, and you can learn a lot from them. And he's definitely taking it one game at a time, and he's definitely looking to improve. So,
how does the addition of Mark LeCras affect your sort of role? I know he's a bit of a different player because he can mark and crumb as well, but does it affect your role in any way in the setup of the forward line?
Not really. We've definitely had that a few games in pre-season to work together, and we definitely see looking forward to working well with each other and bringing what we can each to the team. And I know he's got his flair and all that he brings, and I'm going to try and bring my side and definitely work on improving every step I can. And just as same as last year, I want to start off with my defensive side of my game and look to use that to get involved. So.
And as Barrett said, impressive forward line. Just to add a guy like Mark LeCras, tell us what you've seen of him. You probably wouldn't have seen a lot of him until the pre-season.
Yeah, no, he had that big game in NAB Cup. He came out and kicked, 4 or 5 or something, and yeah, that definitely showed that he's ready to go, and he's been missing a lot. So just having him down there is, I think, a huge boost in the confidence for the other players like JD and Josh Kennedy and that. So he's definitely going to be helping us down there.
Is there a lot more competition for spots now amongst the guys?
Yeah, definitely for younger players like Hamsy and that. Like he's definitely keen to try and fight for his spot to stay in, and just good to have that depth, I guess, to know that there's players there available when we need them. So.
Do you feel for Nico having that setback?
Yeah, it's tough for him, especially being in rehab. Like it's hard to talk to him about it, but I know he's definitely feeling it, and he wants to be out there as soon as he can, and we're all hoping that he gets back on track. So.
What about this week, the derby? Is it unusual to have a derby first up? What's the feeling like going into round one?
Yeah, a bit more exciting than last year for me because last year round one I played against my old team with the Bulldogs. But yeah, I know it's a huge boost for WA. Having that competition with the two teams in the same state, and I know a lot of my family are looking forward to it with the two Hill boys going at it. I know there's always a lot of talk about that, but yeah, definitely keen to get out there, and yeah, I know all the boys are just keen to get back into round one. So
is your family sort of divided? Is it a bit with Stephen and yourself?
Not really, because it's a pretty funny story. I didn't know about Stephen until he got drafted, actually, but it's good to see him doing well, and we're trying to get back, get to know each other a bit better. And I know the camp we had, he didn't rock up, but I know little Brad was there, Bradley Hill. He's at Hawthorn, and it's good to catch up with cousins and sort of build that bond that we've been missing. So, yeah.
How often do you and Stephen talk now, Josh?
Not really often, but I know he's pretty full on and focused on his commitments with footy and that now with pre-season. But if we can catch up every now and then, we probably will. So, yeah.
What do you make of the Dockers ahead of the Derby? Do you think they'll be contenders this year? Do you think they're a strong club?
Yeah, I reckon they're a strong club. I know there's a lot of young players there, and I know they've got a few older players coming over for the trade and that, and I'm sure they'll be able to bring a bit of experience and teach a few of the young boys along the way. And yeah, I definitely think that they've got a big year ahead of them. So.
Josh, this time last year, were you assured of a place in the round one team?
Last year, no, not really. But yeah, as I said, I took that opportunity with LeCras and Nikoski going out last year, and I sort of saw it as an opportunity to make an impact, and definitely didn't look back when I had that chance and made the most of it. And yeah, with this year, just probably more of just trying to be a bit more consistent with playing round one and then going on from there. So.
Do players feel pressure when there is depth in an area like West Coast have in attack? Like looking at the players out, I mean, Nikoski might be gone for a while, but Wellingham will be back in a week or two. LeCras back now, Ham's pushing to get in. Do you feel that at all, or do you?
Yeah, definitely. It makes a lot of the players perform a lot better and makes them push harder on the training track. I know the coaches make sure that they let them know that, that no player, no matter who they are, has got a permanent spot, because there's a lot of young players that are fighting for a position on the team, and it just makes a lot of the older players push harder and perform better. So.
You had a big year at the Western Bulldogs, didn't you, where you kicked, I think it was high 30s in goals, and then struggled a bit the next year. Is there a determination there to make sure that doesn't happen again, that you don't lapse out of form again?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to just, as I said, try and be more consistent this year, and obviously work on from last year, and just look to improve, and just see if I can work well with the likes of LeCras coming back in, and just try and have a good year this year.
And you mentioned your defensive pressure as well. Has that been a big focus this pre-season? How do you address the area of your game?
Yeah, it's always been something I've been trying to work on and looking to improve, but also just other things like second and third efforts. As I said, having LeCras down there, I can work well with him and see what he brings to the team and try and learn from him, and just try and adapt, and having him in the team and work on small things like that.
Who's got more flair between you and LeCras?
He'd probably say him, but yeah, I might say me. And you got Nick out there jumping around on shoulders. It's hard to get a touch, but I know when the ball's there, we'll all be fighting for it, and yeah, we're all pretty excited to see what each of us can bring. So looking forward to it.